Namaste, Vanakkam. I want to share a very important news about the New York Times Journal newspaper, daily newspaper in America. It is published from the New York city. What is very astonishing is this kind of reputed and very famous newspaper is asking for somebody, is recruiting a journalist, is on the hunt for a journalist who is biased against Modi and India. Just they are asking for an anti-India Indian to be recruited as a journalist in their company. They say like this: job description for a correspondent. Under Narendra Modi is chief minister, who is a very prominent, who is a very important Hindu nationalist. We think it is very dangerous thing for India to have him as a prime minister, and we think we should oppose him and by every means, by publishing everything and anything that is against him, his image, to damage his image. They openly want persons to be recruited for in their company who can just have this qualification that they are against Modi and against India. And that is sufficient for them to be employed by this company, not having a degree, not worrying about what they have done in their past biodata, not seeking to know what their experience is in terms of in the domain of journalism, but just because they are anti-India and anti-Modi, that is sufficient enough for them to recruit that person. This is New York Times in their pure agenda against India, searching for a man who is against India so that they can employ him and make him write nonsense and idiotic essays on India. It's very, very sad, and this news should be shared by everybody, and in all of India and all of the planet Earth should know what the quality of this newspaper is. This newspaper is against truth-seeking, correct reporting. And this is newspaper is just want to publish some biased and false and fake news against Modi, just because he's an Hindu protecting India's interests, and this is not playing in the interest of the United States and their all-powerful, you know what, the big Protestant church, which is enormously spending money in billions of dollars, Joshua Project, JoshuaProject.org, and everything, the powerful machinery again for the missionary purposes, so that they are spending money they are spending money on the advertisement and to pay this kind of newspapers. Church is paying New York Times. China is paying New York Times also. China is have paid. There is a very big story about China paying millions of dollars to New York Times. It is in public domain. It is not a very controversial or hidden truth or anything like that. It is open truth. It is in the domain. It is on the net. You can everybody can consult this. China has paid New York Times. to surely write nonsense against Modi and India. This kind of thing, I think every Indian should stand up against New York Times and spread the word that this kind of newspapers should not be trusted. Rajiv Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi is saying every time he's quoting, citing, I quote New York Times, I quote New York Times. What is the nonsense? This kind of newspapers don't need to be quoted in any kind of speech and any kind of to any kind of essay. Very very sad to know that people always believe in whatever American media is telling, American universities publishing, not knowing these kind of university research papers are being funded by vested interests, churches. Often they have chairs in university as Indianists and writing nonsense about India. And this kind of activities are now, because of the widespread of media, social media, we are now more and more coming to know about all this kind of underground machinations by this kind of grand New York Times and everything. Now they get exposed. The second they are going to commit a mistake, they get exposed. Before we didn't know what happened behind the curtains. Now the curtains are no more there. Whatever they do, we public can at once follow in the social media. So be careful. Whatever the media is telling you, they have an agenda and they are paid to tell so often against India, because the answer is very simple. What pushes this kind of newspapers to go against India and attacking and doing everything to degrade, defame, and break the image of India. What is pushing them is that they have realized that now India is battling for its own interest, and somebody is in power who is no more adjusting himself to the kind of demands from the grand from the grand group of the big group of world manipulators. The world manipulators are in USA and Europe. Those white ex-colonialists, and they think always that they are always in power and they can do anything, and they want all other countries to listen to them, because they have this mentality of the colonialist that is no more in this 21st century. We don't need colonialists, and all kind of British Empire is over. They are still dreaming of something they can do still against India by publishing nonsense against India, by damaging its image, by mudslinging against Modi, and because he is doing something that can endanger their economic position also, and their Protestant church is also in danger, because if Hindus get some kind of self-esteem, learn to respect themselves, what will happen is they will have no more interest in converting to Christianity. Okay, I'll finish with this. You can check this news in any media, typing Google. Is very very sad. We have to stop this kind of nonsense and condemn and send a condemnation against New York Times.